Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com and I'm here to do your July monthly tarot reading. Well, the saga continues. Life goes on despite what's going on in the outside world. There are big changes afoot, even though there are some awful things happening at the moment, I'm sorry to say. But I did have a dream the other night about a new era, a new start for all of us. So I was very relieved because you hear people say that it's a reset and, you know, a restart. And I've been saying that also. But I was really waiting for a confirmation, like a very strong confirmation from Spirit that, yes, there are some things in the world that are going to change as a result of COVID and also all of the terrible things that are happening to some minority groups in different countries. And I don't want to get into a big thing about, you know, talking about that because you're here for your July tarot. So let's go to the board now and I shall draw some cards for you and do a psychic interpretation. If you haven't followed me before, you won't know how I work, which is a little bit different to how normal tarot readers operate, yeah. But you'll see. Okay, so we're going with the first card for the month of July for everybody. And as always, just take what resonates for you. You know, some cards will not resonate for you, but we're doing a 5-card spread. Okay, so closing my eyes now, and what do I see? I see a ladder. There's a lot of water on the walls. This is like a cave that I'm in at the moment, and I'm climbing up this ladder. It's a bit slippery, and I know that I have to be sort of cautious, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So that says to me this cave system I'm in, which is deep down in our bodies, in fact, or deep down in our subconscious, you know, it's a great big huge thing. You could get lost down in there, that's for sure. But there is a way out of this situation. Okay, so if you're having issues with finances or career jobs, so you've lost your job, there are more job losses coming, and unfortunately in some countries the figures are not being reported accurately. But there is a way out that you can sort of pivot or change what you normally do so you can find work. Okay, and this is the 7 of Swords. This is actually moving away from a negative situation. The traditional interpretation of this card is like a thief in the night comes and steals something from you. Okay, so just be a little bit cautious. It's not anything to worry about, but just be aware that something untoward could happen in probably early July, because this is the first card. And watch your possessions, because in some countries writing will be getting, you know, even worse, unfortunately. And, you know, it'll calm down, then it'll flare up again and things like that. So this also means, if this is you, that you're going to make a lot of decisions where you cut things off, okay, cut from the past. These decisions are grounded in physical reality. They have real physical effects. There's yellow here for confidence, self-esteem, goal-oriented behaviour. It's time to take action. These tents in the background can indicate travel, but more likely, because we can't travel very much at the moment, certainly not overseas if you're in Australia, but yeah, you know, a lot of states are opening up in the US, so you could maybe travel there, but it means more probably thinking about it, planning it, feeling the feelings, you know, going with the flow, fantasizing about travel, that sort of thing. But yeah, moving away from a negative situation, but do be cautious with your possessions, or it could even be your, you know, if you lose your job, that somehow the job was taken from you. Okay, so this could even be about government policies, not just sort of somebody else coming along and taking a job, but more to do with the macroeconomic situation. All right, but let's see what comes out in the second card. Okay, I'm going with that one there. Closing my eyes now, and what do I see for the month of July for everybody? Yeah, excuse me. I can see doors opening, which is opportunities, a choice of jobs. You may in fact have 2 or 3 jobs. They might be small jobs, but you do a bit of this and a bit of that. And so you're doing maybe gigs, and you might start something online and have a couple of different sources of income. So seeing multiple opportunities, and the card that comes up is the Ace of Wands. Okay, so this is about new beginnings and feeling motivated and very inspired to grow something. Look at these green leaves here. Okay, so to grow something in your life. But again, as I just said, it's about taking action. Okay, and here's a crown at the top of thorns, if you like. So a sacrifice is involved, but out of that comes growth and opportunity. I don't know if you can see the little leaves coming out of the crown there. Spirit is handing this to you. And although there are challenges and obstacles in the background, see these mountains? Mountains are a psychological hurdle or a spiritual challenge. Yes, they're there, and Spirit is still handing you an opportunity. So a new beginning, and you could be feeling very much more motivated. Okay, it's easy to get into a bit of a funk, you know, where you don't feel like doing much. I have those days sometimes, and that's fine. Okay, have a day on the couch in front of the TV, that's fine, as long as those days just don't roll on top of each other and just roll into one great big long, you know, lazy, let's binge watch YouTube or something, you know, rather than doing stuff. Okay, and I feel like this motivation and energy coming up for you is going to help motivate you into a new creation of some description. All right, looking at the next card for everybody for the month of July 2020. Just looking for that card, just waiting for that card to come out. All right, we'll go with that one. Closing my eyes now, and what do I see? I see some dirty dishes in the sink that you're washing up by hand, not in the dishwasher. Washing up by hand, putting them on the dish rack and actually drying them. Okay, all manual. So this could be about menial sorts of tasks that you do, you know, domestic tasks that you do in your home on a regular basis, sure. It could be, but it's, you know, when you're cleaning up in your actual house, you're actually cleaning up in your subconscious as well. So going about your, you know, daily routine and cleaning dishes is a really good thing, because you're cleaning up what's going on inside you. And we come up with the 3 of Wands. This card comes out a fair bit, surprisingly. It's about teamwork. And again, a lot of motivation and inspiration around it. Look at all this fiery energy down the bottom here. This could be people that you work with, or it could even be your family members. There's something that you have to do together. Take action. See, she's wearing red. Has to involve action, but it's teamwork in order to accomplish a task. And there could be a few little glitches with it, in that you don't always agree, because all 3 of you or more, it could just be a general group, not just 3, but you're passionate about what you're doing, and so there could be some disagreements about how to accomplish the task. I wouldn't worry too much, because this sort of indicates that eventually the task will get done and there'll be success, even if you don't get your idea across the line. This woman here in the dark, she really doesn't know what's going on. This one here is very action oriented. This one here is more reserved and quiet and spiritual, but together they can get the job done. If this is in your home, or your family rather, it could be something to do with your parents. Maybe they're selling their property, going to downsize, and children have to organise, the cleanup or something like that. That's kind of like an example. Or in the workplace, it can be a project or other co-workers. And like I said, if you have a few hiccups, that's okay. You'll still get it done. Sometimes when you have 3 people, 2 of them can sort of work together, and then one feels a bit left out. So just watch that. But there's no harm done, and you'll get there. Okay, in the end. Okay, looking at the next card for July 2020, and what do I see? Going with that card there. Closing my eyes. What do I see? Okay, this is about quietly working, accomplishing something, probably on your own. I see a hammer and someone chiseling away at something, trying to sculpt something out. Okay. And here we have the 10 of Swords. Sadly, this is coming up more often these days, this card. Never used to come up until the last few months, or all this COVID thing that happened. But as well as dealing with the pandemic, there's a lot of misinformation in the media. The governments are not telling the truth. Australian government is getting better at doing that. They were very quiet at first, not sharing with the population what was really going on. But they did take action fairly early in the piece compared to some other countries, but probably not early enough. But anyway. And so this is like a sense of disappointment or betrayal. Now, it could be somebody close to you, or it could be you're disappointed with your government. I'm disappointed with mine, even though they're not a total failure. But some aspects of the way they govern, I am disappointed with. And so you could feel like you've been betrayed, but there is new life springing from this. See all these butterflies here? So something good comes about. There is a silver lining as a result of the injuries, the wounds, the disappointment, the betrayal, even I want to say abuse that is going on. Something good comes about as a result. My heart chakra is really burning now that I'm saying that, so I think that's a good thing. She's wearing red. There's action to be taken about it. This is the end of the cycle. Unfortunately, because humans being what humans are, it's taken all of this absolute distress and sadness to bring these changes about. And it's like the cost of consciousness. Some people are just not very awake or conscious. And this is the cost of consciousness, to get the system to change, But really, again, I must stress, it's not a good idea to take on board what other people say. Even what I say, you should run it past your own filters and see, does that resonate with you? If you get a feeling, a strong feeling, then you know that's resonating with you and that's what it is. But unfortunately, there is a lot of hidden agendas, and even with so-called spiritual people, which is really disappointing. You think when you're in this industry, you could be you're more evolved than that, but sadly, no, not everybody. And so run it past your own filters and see if it applies to you, and that way, you could help avoid these sorts of situations in the future. But change is coming for sure. And this is the end of the cycle. This is the 10, the 1 and the 0. So the beginning of the new cycle, but 0 is limbo. So it's a bit like the hangman, where you're waiting, you're delayed, a bit like being pregnant, and the baby's coming, but the baby's not here yet. Okay, so that's the new, there we go, that one's just come out. I didn't even get to close my eyes there. the new age, if you like, because we're leaving the age of Pisces, of Christianity, and we're going into the age of Aquarius for the next 2,160 years or so. Okay, so this is the Two of Swords. Now, this is about making some decisions this month. However, you must bear in mind that those decisions that you make are influenced by the reflections of the past, your own history. So you may not be seeing the situation entirely 100% clearly, because you've got this energy in the background of old baggage of experience. I mean, it has an upside and a downside, really. So just try, when you look at your, you come to make an important decision in July, try to look at it with new eyes so that you're not being so influenced by the past. But swords are mental energy, all about thinking. It's also about balance, attaining balance, weighing up ideas and seeing how you feel with them, and just sit with them. Don't have to go out impulsively and make a decision in 5 minutes. Just sit with it for a few days and sleep on it. That really is true, I find. See what dreams you have, about it. Okay, so look at this month. We've got 3 swords. Okay, so a month of planning and strategy. And we've got 2 wands, which is feeling that fiery motivational energy. Okay, so I'm just going to close my eyes now and see what I can see for everybody. Just a sec, just take a sec for the pictures to come in. Okay, I've got a whiteboard in front of me and I'm writing on the whiteboard, and this is about, it almost feels like a teaching energy. You may have an opportunity to teach this month in some way, or to show others a new way of doing things in a very unique way, so that, nobody does it quite, or I should say, you don't do it the way that anybody else does it. I see a crown. Now, I know there's different sorts of crowns, and I'm sorry, I don't know my crowns. Maybe some royal watchers will be able to fill me in. This is the crown that has the red velvet on the inside, with the gold that comes up, like 4 pieces of gold that come up, and then it comes to a point. I'm wondering if, when kings go through coronation, if they wear this crown with the red velvet. So maybe it's a coronation type crown. So, because there's different crowns for different reasons, different events and things like that, which I don't know about. But this means that although no kings came up in the reading, it means that in your subconscious there is a divine masculine energy there. And they're showing me now a young woman with a bow and arrow, and she's pointing that arrow and it hits a bullseye. So that means correct what I'm telling you. They're just giving me another confirmation about contacting your own divine masculine energy. This is a thing within all people, even women. Even though we're not masculine, we still have a masculine energy within. If your father was absent or didn't do a particularly good job of fathering when you were little, you may feel underconfident, not too sure, insecure, lack motivation. You might find it hard to follow through on projects. You can get started on a project, but you can't finish a project because your father was never there to show you how to do it, okay? And even if you have, your mother was a single parent perhaps, maybe she wasn't in contact with her own divine masculine energy, so she couldn't show you either. And so it always leaves this little bit of a hole, okay? So this is the opportunity in July to actually find that divine masculine energy within. I would start focusing on it. Imagine that you're wearing a crown with the red velvet in the middle. Go and look at some crowns And, you know, maybe get some photos and cut up some crowns and stick them on your photos and things like that, and put them on your fridge to remind you about divine masculine energy, because kings are the divine, initially I'm talking about, not now, but initially were the divine masculine force made physical here on earth, okay, that we could all look up to. I'm seeing a wedding. The bride is walking down the aisle with a sword like this. She's got the sword, she's holding the sword out in front of her as she walks down. So it's not really a battle sort of pose, but it is a sort of a defensive pose that says that, yes, I have the ability to make decisions on my own. Even though I'm integrating my energy with somebody else and joining with another energy, I have the ability to be independent and to think for myself. Okay, so that is a really, really good thing. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful today. Please give it a like, and if you have, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click that notification bell. That would be wonderful. Okay, I've got lots more videos coming up. I'll be doing the July pick a card shortly, and I'm going to do another video. We need more psychics. We're so busy on my network, AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com, that we need more psychics. So I'll do a video about that and just tell you a little bit about what it's like to be a psychic on this network. Okay, so stay tuned, and thanks again. Have a wonderful and insightful month in July. Okay, bye. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website, AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com, for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.